Welcome back, everybody. This is Tyler Weeb from Pro Physique, and today we're going to go over what is the best cardio for fat loss. All right, everybody, welcome back. We are at Thanksgiving Eve. I hope you are all getting pretty excited and ready to enjoy some good food, enjoy some good company, maybe watch some football, play some bocce ball, board games. I'm essentially just naming what me and my family do. So despite being Canadian, I did grow up in America. So I am actually headed down to the States tonight with my wife to my parents' place, and we're gonna go celebrate Thanksgiving. So really looking forward to that. But today I wanted to talk about what is the best cardio that you should be doing for your fat loss goals. So there are, two different types of cardio that we can talk about. There is steady state cardio and then there is HIIT cardio, all right? So those are the two types. So steady state cardio is not that intense, right? We are not looking to get up to our, high VO2 max. Right, so we're typically, looking at like a treadmill walk at a slight incline. All right, and that the speeds and the incline are going to vary from person to person, but that is typically kind of what I like to recommend. All right, and if you want to get technical, we're pretty much no higher than 65% of our VO2 max. So your VO2 max is essentially like how hard can you go, anaerobically. Oxygen wise. So typically we're saying quite low. You should not be out of breath, but you should be breathing a little bit harder than, let's just say, if you're just sitting there, right? So you do find that little bit of a balance, right? Light sweat, but you should be able to hold a conversation while you are doing steady state. Now, typically these sessions are longer. Why? Well, because we need to let the body get to a point where it's starting to access the fat storages for energy. Yes. So we go through different stages of energy fuel with our body depending on how long the exercise is. Something that is short, we're primarily using carbohydrates, right? So think about, lifting some weights for a set of 10. That's pretty much going to be pure carbohydrates for your energy source. The longer we go and the lower the intensity is, the body will start to shift to using fat as its energy source. So typically we're looking roughly 20 to 30 minutes until we start getting into that fat burning energy source. And so this is where steady state can be a great source of cardio, because you are using body fat as your main energy source. So that is the great advantage, and it doesn't take a lot to recover from, like HIIT cardio, right? So you're not being very strenuous. So if you are, let's say, deep into a prep or deep into a cutting phase, or maybe you are just a larger individual, or you have something like asthma, things like that could hinder you from doing HIIT cardio, steady state cardio is a fantastic tool that you can use. Now, I say for people in prep and or deep cutting phases, because at a certain point you're going to have a lot of hard time recovering, right? And so by doing some steady state cardio, you are going to increase your chances or increase your success of recovery for each training session. Now, the downfall is that your body will adapt. It's a lot more easily adaptable too. And so the only way to force the body to readapt is to increase the time. So, if we start off with 30 minutes, well, the body adapts. Well, we might have to go to 40 minutes, 50 minutes. So you can quickly find yourself, doing over an hour of cardio, or 4 or 5 days of 40, 30 minutes of cardio, depending on how you kind of start to add sessions in or add time, things like that. So that is the downfall of it, is that it does take a long time. So this is where HIIT training can come in. So HIIT cardio is not a circuit class. It is not something that you can do for 60 seconds and then only recover for 30 seconds. That is not true HIIT cardio. I know people will say it is, but it is not. True HIIT cardio is something that you should only be able to sustain for 20 to 30 seconds. Like 30 seconds is pushing it. 20 seconds, pretty good. And then it should take you about a minute to a minute and a half to recover from. Right? So we're talking about life and death sprints. Like these sprints, like you should not be able to hold a conversation after a sprint. So you know how we talked about you should be able to hold a conversation? You should not be able to hold a conversation for the first 10 to 15 seconds after a sprint. All right, so that's true. That is true HIIT. I typically recommend doing this on a spin bike because it is very easy to manipulate the levels of resistance, and it's a lot easier to get the intensity that you need. Now, things like sleds, I really like using sleds for this as well because I feel that they really do add a lot of intensity, and I do feel like they're actually almost better than bike sprints. Typically don't recommend treadmill as it can be pretty hard to get the intensity that you need, and just because it also takes a while for the treadmill to ramp up and ramp down. So you can see where like the bike is a lot better. Now, yes, it is a bit more anaerobic where we are using carbohydrates as our main source, but what we are doing is we are increasing our oxygen debt for the next 24 to 48 hours after a HIIT session. And so what this means is that our body actually needs more fuel after the session to keep going. And because it was mainly carbohydrates, the body is going to shift more to using fat as an energy source throughout the day. Okay? Now, that is the benefit, right? It's short on time, and it pretty much has the exact same effects as long steady state cardio for fat loss. Like, one necessarily isn't better than the other, but if we're going by time, well then HIIT is going to be better for you. But like I said earlier, HIIT cardio is a little harder to recover from, and it's not appropriate for every single person. So someone like asthma, they probably shouldn't be doing HIIT cardio, right? And as you get deeper into a prep or deeper into a cutting phase, well, your recovery is going to become a lot more important because you aren't consuming a lot of food, and so your recovery is already suffering. And so we want to make sure that our training sessions with weights always have priority, right? Like that's going to be priority where we need to really bring the intensity when we can. And so the HIIT cardio can hinder that, and you can't really add it in indefinitely, right? Like I would not say doing 5 sessions of like 10 sprints a week. Like that would kill you. Okay, it wouldn't literally kill you, but you would have a really hard time actually bringing then the intensity to your training sessions that you would actually need. And so what is probably best is to probably find a balance between the two, right? You have maybe 1 or 2 HIIT sessions a week, and then you start off with some steady state cardio a week, right? And then as food gets lower, cardio starts to get higher. What you can do is you can actually get rid of the HIIT cardio, unless you really, 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 really like it, and just then start applying that to your steady state cardio, right? So what is the best cardio for fat loss? Well, as like most things, it depends, right? But what I do recommend is start off with a little combination of both. Not a lot, right? Because you're only going to be adding in. So maybe 1 HIIT session, 6 sprints, 20 seconds each, and then a minute 40 recovery. That's 20 minutes right there. And then probably, if you're not doing any cardio, start off 2 times, 20 minute steady state sessions. And go from there, right? And then you're tracking your weight every week. And if you're losing weight on doing that much cardio, then leave it there. Don't touch it. Only manipulate once you've plateaued. All right, guys, that is everything. So thank you for watching. Go enjoy some turkey. Go enjoy some stuffing, some wine. Enjoy time with family and friends. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And if you would do me the great favor of hitting that subscribe button, and then if you have any questions that you would like to see answered in future videos, just leave that comment down below. I would love to answer your questions. So again, thanks for watching, guys. Have a fantastic holiday.